Eddie G. TV. Eddie G TV. Eddie G TV. Eddie G TV. Eddie G TV. Oh, yo. What up, man?
What's up, brother? How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. Just running around like a chicken with my head cut off right now. Got everything ready for it, though.
Nice. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome.
So, how's things going with everything going on with Corona out in BC? Like, guys.
I mean, it's where I'm at is pretty remote, man. Like Kelowna's a very small town. It's probably like maybe the population of Barrie, so it's pretty remote and like away from Van, so it's not too crazy here. Like we have all the same lockdowns going down and everything, but I mean the numbers where I am are pretty much non-existent. So I
Okay.
mean the lockdown is still a thing, but I mean in terms of fear and stuff around Kelowna, it's not too bad.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, man.
So, yeah, I wanted to get into a whole bunch of things today.
Sure.
Um, I wanted to start off like I know King of the Dot. Like how did this whole thing come about? Like in the beginning.
Okay. Well,
Are you hearing to me or no?
what's that?
Are you hearing me well?
Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
it's all good, man. Okay, so I guess I'll take it back to when I met Organic. So you know Chris Thomas, obviously, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So Chris Thomas had started a thing called Proud to Be a Battle MC way back in the day, which I eventually became a partner on. And that was just like freestyle battles on beats, kind of 16-man tournaments that we were running every couple months or whatever. And Organic actually won one of those tournaments, and one of the
Uh,
prizes was
Hold on.
one of the prizes for that was
Can you move the
studio
camera a
time
little
with
bit?
me. What?
Can you move the camera a little bit? Like the comments are like right over your face.
Oh, sure. Yeah, yeah, I could just.
Yeah, yeah, that works.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So
Yeah.
yeah, so Organic won a bunch of those competitions actually, but the first one he won was one of the prizes was studio time with me, which at the time wasn't really a studio. It was basically a microphone in my mom's basement, but I
Yeah.
was recording people and it was pretty cool anyway. A lot of cool shit came out of that basement, so it was all right. But yeah, so Organic ended up coming through my house to record some stuff, and he didn't write anything at the time, so we didn't really do shit on the music front. But
Okay.
through that, we really became tight friends, and then initially Proud to Be was happening or whatever, but Organic wanted to throw a thing called King of the Dot, which was really supposed to be a once a year freestyle tournament. And like we wanted to do it on a big scale, which for us at the time would have been like the Opera House or something, and make it like a once a year thing that was kind of like for the champ of champs of the Proud to Be situation or whatever other freestylers that we could get from wherever kind of thing. We wanted it to be like
I
a
went
really
to one of
big.
the events. I went to one of the events at the Opera House too. I
Yeah,
think it was
yeah. So
uh something four. World Down Four. Was it there?
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. But that like I'm talking about doing like a
Oh no, I
16
know.
man
Yeah.
freestyle battle thing. So like not even like what King of the Dot is. Like literally, the funny thing is we actually started doing the street battle stuff just to kind of build the name up a bit and hopefully raise some money to throw this big freestyle battle that we wanted. But then the street battle stuff just took off, and that's basically the direction we took it in from there. We just continued doing that instead and scrapped the whole freestyle tournament. So
Okay, so
it
around
literally started with the
what year
idea
is
of
this?
throwing one big
Yeah.
tournament. And
Around what year was this?
oh, that was probably 2008.
2008.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And we did the first street battle in 2009 downtown in a little alleyway beside the Flow 93 building, which is not there anymore, but it was like about a 2 minute walk from Dundas Square because we got kicked out of
Okay.
Dundas Square for it.
Dope, dope. Like I like the idea of like I've seen places like certain battle things try and do like a freestyle tournament kind of thing, and it like I can see in the big cities when you got a lot of people with talent, like a lot of people with talent, because like you for like the freestyles, like you need like for the tournaments, like if only a certain amount of people are good, then it's kind of like you know, like but if you have like
Yeah,
if like out of the 16, like 12 are really good, then you know you can have a good tournament, right?
yeah, you're doing all right. But it always kind of works anyway because even if there's some people that aren't so great, people always like to watch a complete murder too, right? So
That's true.
the,
That's true.
the
Yeah.
first rounds tend to be pretty entertaining regardless.
Yeah, that's true. I've definitely been entertained by like just seeing somebody just get destroyed, like just
Yeah,
walking away with their head down and shit like
yeah,
that.
it's always I mean it's sometimes it's pretty cringeworthy to watch, but at the same time it's still entertaining.
For sure, for sure. And then you got into yeah, the street battles. Uh was the camera involved like right away, or are you guys like
Yeah, yeah, literally we had this guy P who was shout out to P by the way. I don't know if he's gonna ever see this, but in the at the time he was actually in school for film and he had access to renting camera gear. So we had like the old school like a big camera with the shotgun mic and like one that recorded onto tapes, like old school shit.
yeah.
And yeah, man, he came out and shot it and edited it and he was a cameraman for King of the Dot all the way up until World Domination 1. And
Okay, okay.
then we moved forward with Avocado from LA there.
Yeah, now avocado does like everything now, eh?
Oh yeah, yeah. Now he's his own business.
Yeah.
So things have changed a lot in battle rap. Like so now when you hire Avocado, he does the whole thing. He does all of the PA for the whole event. He takes care of the pay-per-view, the whole nine. Like literally you hire him, you don't have to worry about any
Oh
of the
wow.
production. Yeah.
Wow,
So it's
eh?
an all in one price deal and I mean with him you can guarantee that it's going to be primo, you know?
Yeah, yeah. No, like
Yeah.
the content is definitely up there. It's good.
Yeah,
Uh
so now basically anyone who can afford him he's doing their events like URL and everyone. So
yeah. So
yeah.
going back, so when did the things start to come in like inside? Like
Sorry?
when were the early venues? Like what were the early venues you guys were doing? Like you guys said like you're outside at first, but
Yeah, so the first venue we ever used was a little place in the Junction called Vega Lounge. And it was way too small for what we were doing. We didn't anticipate the turnout that we had there. It was pretty amazing actually. But you know what? That was where Hollowhead battled Caliente and like
okay.
the atmosphere of it was pretty intense. So as small as it was, it really had like a boiler room feel to it, and it actually came out really good on camera. I remember me and Trav were freaking out about it because another thing we didn't anticipate was having people drinking and not shutting up. So we were just
Yeah.
like by the end of the event, we were like super worried that the footage was going to be all trash from it, and like we weren't going to be able to hear nothing. But um, luckily, the shotgun mic, because the way I don't know if you know how shotgun mics work, but they
Yeah.
point directly at whatever you're filming. So luckily, that stuff turned out okay. I mean, throughout time as we progressed, we ended up having to switch over to lav mics and stuff just because it was way
Yeah.
too much outside noise. But even when we were doing events at Club XS, we didn't use any sort of microphones for quite a long time, and we managed to do okay. Eventually, we did switch to lavs and had the audio running through the speakers, which really stepped the game up too, right?
Yeah. I think that was the first one I went. First place I went to see King of that was Club Access.
Oh,
I think
okay, yeah.
yeah,
And then also before that, the Blue Moon was like our home, like that right at Queen and Broadview. That was like my favorite joint, man. Like this guy
yeah.
Kai, really took care of us there, and we had some legendary events in there. That was literally our home until it closed. And yeah, we'll always definitely have a lot of love for the Blue Moon.
Okay, you guys had people coming out from like different cities like right away. Like, was that like something like you guys discussed? Like, kind of like, hey, let's get not just Toronto-based people, but like spread out. Like, was that something you guys thought about right away?
Not necessarily. Like I said, when we first started, we didn't expect what King of the Dot is today to even be a thing. Like it
Yeah,
wasn't the goal, right? Um, so once the battles started gaining traction, um, people from other cities started to hit us up. Like Organic and myself, we were both deeply involved with freestyle battles and had connections all over the world from internet forums and shit from way back. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
we kind of had a leg up in terms of promoting right away, right? So like it was fairly easy for our stuff to be seen all over the world almost immediately. Well, I mean, not all over the world, like
Well,
between. Sorry.
when was that the organic and disaster battle? Was that right around then? Like right around the
No,
beginning?
so that was uh that was probably almost at the 2 year mark.
Okay, okay.
Um, yeah, it was over a year after we started doing King of the Dot, and yeah, we did that. That was cool, man. That weekend is
Yeah,
really when King of the Dot solidified its move right up because from there we made the in-person connections with everybody, and everybody wanted to come to Toronto after that weekend. Like
yeah,
after us being there and mingling with everyone, and we after that is when you really started to see the Americans coming through King of the Dot and the UK dudes, and like that's when everybody really wanted to come to Toronto. That's when we came up with World Domination, and then from there, pretty much kind of started running shit. So that
like
that weekend, Battle of the Bay Five in Oakland, was definitely like a huge turning point for King of the Dot and the size and viewership of it. That's where we really kind of made the connections to move forward.
so shout out to Maloney Breaking Records Radio tuned in right now.
Yes, sir. What up,
Yeah,
Maloney?
that's how we met. You came and did the No Condom podcast. Thanks for that. That was a classic episode.
That was, man. That was a lot of fun. That was quite a while ago. I definitely wasn't sober for that one.
Yeah. So getting back to King of the Dot, what are some of your favorite early battles? Like one of my I like Kid Twist and Dumbfounded. That was a good
Yeah, that
early
that
one.
that was that was a huge one for us too, and we got super lucky on that one. Because Dumbfounded was actually just touring, and he happened to be doing a show in Buffalo. We did that battle on a Wednesday night at the Blue Moon, actually,
Yeah.
and we built the whole event around that battle just because Dumbfounded was able to be in Toronto that night, and we were kind of worried about
Wow.
it being a
Yeah.
little bit weak because Wednesday night and all that, but it ended up being fucking huge. Like that turnout was
Yeah.
insane. Like you could see it in the footage how
Oh,
electric
for
that
sure.
building was. Yeah, man, that's another reason why I really love the Blue Moon.
Yeah.
In terms of like some of my favorite early battles,
Yeah.
I mean, even like the first event, things that stand out to me was like Kid Twist and Poor Rich.
Okay.
That was our first main event, like
Yeah.
that was huge. And then a lot of my favorite things might not be the greatest back and forth exchanges, but like people's debuts, man, like Holohan versus Lavish Language. I remember just being like blowing me right away how crazy Holohan came out, and I remember Low Pesci versus Feel Good. That was rest in peace to Feel Good. But that was another one where I was just like, wow, out of nowhere. I wasn't expecting it to be that crazy, and it was. And just watching people and Sharon's debut. That's another one. Like I remember him just picking out. Like I was wearing an Ocho Cinco jersey, and I remember he just freestyled a line about it out of nowhere. And like Sharon's talent was off the hook, even when he was just a little nerdy little kid. Like first time he was like 17, I think.
Wow.
And that was actually in the original Alleyway too. Yeah, man, just people's debuts and watching them come out swinging and progress, and like when we didn't really have a way to know who had what skills, you know what I mean? And just watching people come in and really own shit. It was that's my favorite stuff from the early days.
Oh, it must be dope to see like these early days, and then see people like go on and do like bigger things like Sharon on Wild 'N Out. And
yeah, man, there's so many people that have gained like huge careers out of just YouTube video battle rap, man, and it is truly incredible to see. And shout out to Sharon too, man, because that's a dude who genuinely does not need battle rap anymore, but he lives and breathes the shit. And not only that, he represents for King of the Dot big time, man. Like that guy will never forget where he came from and how he got where he is, So shout out to him. And shout out to Nick Cannon, man. He put a lot of battle rappers on, and they're all eating really good off that. And it's awesome that he hooked them up like that.
So besides like King of the Dot, like what should other people know about like music wise, like
well, man, I mean I kind of got like a little studio thing happening out here, and especially now in the quarantine, I'm working on some stuff. But I mainly when it comes to production, like I mostly like DJing and production, I mostly do drum and bass. Like I was actually just working on something before you came. I can play it for you if you want to hear something.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah. So, but yeah, man, I'm just like I'm just doing things for the sake of doing it. Like I don't really care to have a career in music. I mean, sure, it'd be nice, but like,
yeah,
I'm the kind of person that once you involve money, I lose my passion for it. You know what I mean? So it's like music for me is just a hobby, man. Like I really do enjoy it and I love it, and like I'm not like I've been DJing for like 20 years, but you'll never catch me playing top 40 in clubs because I hate that shit.
Yeah.
Like
I even hear the thing with the music thing, because I remember like before I started doing the interviews, I was just rapping and I was doing shows, and like I was always trying to think of when I was making new music, like hey, like how could make stuff that like watching crowds and seeing kind of like what music works and shit like that. And then kind of like getting so warped into that, kind of like, and making your music like that, it kind of like I lost the fun. And then when I started doing the interviews, and then when the focus wasn't on my music, it was more focused on my interviews, then like making music was like, it became fun again.
Yeah, exactly, man. I've done a couple of things where I would DJ a wedding or some shit for money, and genuinely I hated it. You know what I mean? Like for me, music is a passion project, and once I feel like I have to do something just for financial gain, then I completely lose interest in it. And so like all of my DJing stuff, like I love drum and bass, jungle music, and all of my DJing stuff is literally like I'd rather do that shit for free for the rest of my life and enjoy the hell out of it than get paid and play things that I don't want to or don't like. Like that's not my jam. But yeah, man, I've been working on a couple things. I can show you if you want to hear some stuff.
Yeah. That's
all right. Well, here I'll play some. Let me know if you can hear this. Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, so that's something new that I just been messing with.
That's nice, nice.
Yeah.
That's nice groove to it.
Yeah, man, it's that's some like roller, darker jungle shit. And then I have something here that's like a little more dance floor vibe. Check this one out. Whoa, that's not good. All right. Well, what I got the wrong synth happening on that one. I'll play you a clip of it. Load that shit up. Yeah, when you open up new tracks, you gotta reset all your plugins. So when I opened that, it wasn't on the right setting. So I'll just play you a clip of it that I dropped.
Nice. Shout out to Arcane, just logged in. What?
Yeah, man. So those are a couple things that I've been doing up in quarantine.
Yeah, we
What up,
got.
what up, Arcane? How you doing, brother?
Yeah, we got Arcane in here. What's one of your favorite battles of his?
Oh, him and Bender, bro. Always, 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 all day. That is, you know, R.I.P. to Bender, man.
Definitely RP to Bender.
You know, Arcane, the thing I love about Arcane is everybody always counted him out. Every battle, Arcane's gonna get smashed. Arcane's gonna get smashed, and every time he came out and won that shit, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's legendary, man. And he's always the underdog. And every time he shows up, he shows out, man. Yeah, so big respect to you, Arcane, for sure, man.
Yeah, so we talked about like early battles. Like, what's some of your just like favorite battles? Like, even if it's not even like King of the Dot, like what's one of your favorite battles in general?
Man, really putting me on the spot. You know, like I've watched 1,000 battles, man.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I gotta, like, you know, I remember off the top of my head right now, speaking of Bender, I'll say Bender and Ilmac. That was one of the best ones I saw live. Pat Stay and Holohan, another one of the best ones.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for
live. Sure. DNA versus Diz, the most epic. When you were in the building that day, it was the vibe was ridiculous.
I just imagine from the camera, like from the camera, that like seemed like it was like insane, like in there.
Yeah, it was complete roadblock, man. It was nuts. Super awesome.
So, what's your involvement with King of the Dot now?
With King of the Dot now, man, I took a step back from it many years ago, to be honest. Like, I'm still, you know, very much on board with everything that goes down. And but in terms of running events and stuff like that, I haven't really been a part of it in quite a while, man. Like, I just sort of, once I, to be perfectly honest with you, man, I fell pretty hard into alcoholism and I just kind of faded away from it on some personal downfall shit, man. Like, you know, never really lost love for it, never lost my position by anybody telling me I had to leave or whatever. I just kind of stopped caring about it. And, you know, like same, you know, actually I can relate it to what I was talking about before, man, when I lost the passion for it, right? Like it's
right. Yeah.
It became more of a business and less about the organic, no pun intended, feel, and I just kind of lost passion for it and went a different route. And You know, Organic's still one of my best friends, man, and
Awesome.
we're hella
Awesome.
good, bro. Like I guess technically I'm still an owner of King of the Dot on paper, really, but I don't I don't come at it from a business side at all anymore, man. Just a big supporter, and that's it, man.
Dope, dope. It's good to hear you and Organic are still good after a friendship of that many years. Like a lot of times, it's hard to keep like you can only have so many friendships the last so many years, right?
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, Organic came out here to see me. He's a big supporter of what I'm doing these days, and definitely my brother for life, man. One of my best friends in the world, 100%, and always will be, man. Friendship like that, you can never change. You know what I mean?
For
Me
sure.
and him are the type of friends where we could not see each other and not talk for a year, and it'll be the exact same. Then you know what I mean? As soon as we do, like um, there's never any saltiness there at all, man. We're 100%
Awesome,
like,
awesome,
yeah, man.
awesome, awesome. So speaking of, you're saying like the things you got going on now. What do you got going on now?
So I'm out in BC, man. I came out here for to go to rehab for recovery. I've been sober now for just over a year, and
Congrats, man. Congrats.
yeah, thank you, brother. Yeah, and I'm currently working at the treatment center full time now that I went through. I ended up getting hired on there. I started working there almost right after I finished my 90-day program, just on some like helping out stuff, and
Yeah.
I guess over time I did well enough that they ended up giving me a full-time job there. So now I'm working in the treatment center, and I'm helping other people through what I had to go through as well. You know what I mean? It's pretty cool. And it's kind of how they say how it works is you can't keep your sobriety unless you give it away. You know what I mean? You got to help others to get over it as well. And that's kind of where I'm at. That's how I'm living these days, man. Just trying to help other people overcome addiction
That-
and alcoholism.
That's awesome, man. That's
Yeah.
awesome. I really appreciate you for that because like, man, like I have family that have been through addictions and it's like and seeing them now clean and like doing like kind of like a similar thing you're doing like it's like that's awesome like we gotta help people out, right?
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's crazy, you know, like it's hard to remember what it was like for me when I was living like that because I honestly if I like I didn't see how insane it was until after I cleared out of it. And it like when I was living in it I really just it felt normal to me. I mean, I knew I was an alcoholic, and I knew I you know, but like the things that I would do, I didn't really feel like I was that insane or anything. But you know what I mean? When looking back on it now, once I got a little cleared up through it, and I look back at it now, and it literally was just complete insanity. And I'm so grateful that I was able to get out of that. And you know, if I as long as I maintain my spiritual condition, I think I can help others get through it as well, and I'm able to maintain my sobriety, which is huge, man. You know, I don't want to be a dry drunk. I don't want to be somebody who is sober but doesn't enjoy it. You know what I mean? Like I'm actually really enjoying my sobriety and loving my life right now.
So what tips could you give to like people that are going through their addictions right now and trying to fight it during the quarantine time? Because like we can't really go out, and then like the only thing like people get bored and they're just gonna sit around and drink, right? Like,
Yeah,
uh,
you know, it's I'm actually glad you mentioned that, man, because it's really tough right now for even myself, you know, like
yeah,
I'm a guy like I work in recovery, thankfully. I'm very lucky and I'm still working. And so I'm pretty plugged in myself. And but you know, the guys at my treatment center, typically we go to a meeting almost every night, you know, like I'm like a 4 meeting a week guy, like typically. And that
yeah,
hasn't been a thing for over a month now. Like so guys aren't getting any sort of, they're not able to see their sponsors, they're not able to go to meetings. It's and that's like it's a really tough time because those types of things are what keep people, like if you ask people who have been in recovery and relapsed, 9 times out of 10, they'll say they stopped going to meetings, they stopped talking to their sponsors. Right now, that's being forced on people, and it's a really grim time. Thankfully, I don't know if you know about Zoom, but there's for anybody who may be recovering right now and needs meetings, there is online meetings. You can search it up on Google and download the Zoom app, and there's some fantastic meetings that happen online that I've been thankfully I've been able to plug people into that and myself plug into it, and that's definitely keeping me going a lot right now. So
Awesome.
definitely try to plug in online if you're looking for meetings, because they are happening and they are there.
Definitely, we'll get the links, and then I'll make sure those are in the description so people can get those.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, you can definitely just type in AANACA online meetings, and you can find links, no problem, and they're super easy to plug into. If you got a phone, you're good to go.
Awesome. But yeah, like I was just because I see all these people posting like, oh, I'm just sitting around drinking all day, like because like they're stuck at home, right? Like it's like, wow, like this is really gonna be a problem. Like, what do you think? Like, I think like some businesses are gonna thrive after this, and some businesses are gonna like tank. What do you think about like like the world after COVID-19?
Well, I mean, I think it's going to be different forever. Like, I think this has definitely changed the world. I don't know what it's going to look like. I mean, I was thinking about it, and I'm wondering how long will it be before people actually feel safe again, where they will go to a concert or to a sporting event or to a movie theater even, right? Like,
Right.
that's you know, I could see stores reopening and restaurants and things, and people you know, I have a feeling people are going to be a lot more conscious about social distancing in general. I think that's going to be a thing. Like, I think you're still going to see, probably stores are still going to have some sort of spacing happening, like I would imagine. But yeah, man, like I wonder, like I've actually been wondering about, like, when will I be able to go to a Blue Jay game again? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like I could see things going back to normal in terms of stores and things like that being open. And
Yeah,
like,
but like even going to a concert, like you know.
yeah, that's what I mean. Me like going into like a, you know, like getting like like floors at the Opera House or something like that. Why, like, well, I don't know, what, like a floor seating concert with people bumping into each other. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know what that looks like. You know, and it's like,
Or in some of these places, they're gonna have less seating.
Sorry.
Some of these places probably have like less seating, like like the big venues like aren't gonna be able to fit as many people.
Yeah, I don't think it makes a difference though, right? Like, if you have general you know, like floor seating, like something like the Opera House where there is no seats, where it's literally just open concept. Everyone's gonna rush the stage anyway. There's not gonna be any sort of
True.
distancing.
Yeah. I'm saying like for other venues like that are basically seats, they're gonna have to probably have less seating.
Yeah, exactly. Like where they might have to do every other seat or something like that, but which is fine for me, man, because I'm claustrophobic. I don't, you know, I'm good with that.
No, for sure.
But
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure they won't be loving selling 50% of the tickets that they could. But I mean, you know what? We got to do what we got to do here, man. Like, the way I look at all this shit is, and I deal with a lot of people that are like, we're on a pretty strict lockdown at my treatment center, and guys are allowed to go for walks and whatever, but it's really tight. They're not allowed to, if guys have girlfriends, if they, you know, they're not allowed to see anyone from outside of our place right now. And it's tough, but I tell them, I'm like, you know what, man, like, you guys can either be part of the problem or part of the solution here, you know, like, this is what we have to do right now. And I think we're starting to see the results of it. So, you know, I think what we're doing is working, and it'll be, I can't give any estimate on how long this shit is going to go on for, but I feel like we're making progress, and that's good stuff.
So I think a lot of businesses will just have to do things differently and like adjust, like even like this right here. Like I was doing all my interviews, like sit down interviews, and then like in person interviews, and then it got to this thing. And I was like, well, we can't really have in person interviews, so I need to figure out another solution. Then I was like, what? And then why don't I just do online ones, online interviews, so that like me just with my business, like well, building at EGTV, um, I said, hey, I'll start doing them online. I think like even after this whole COVID thing, because like it's cool, like you're out in BC and like and we can do this. I'm in Brantford in Ontario, and we can just do this interview and you know.
Yeah, it's pretty flawless, man. Like you got that's the other cool thing. Speaking about that, when I if I could take it back to the online AA meetings,
Yeah.
that's one of the coolest things. Like I could be in a meeting with 800 people from all over the world, and it's getting perspectives from other people from different places is actually a pretty cool thing, man. And like
Oh, for sure.
exactly like me and you couldn't do this unless I happen to be in Toronto one of the 3 times I will be a year now kind of thing, right? Like,
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah,
yeah, it's cool. And I don't know if you've seen what Pat Stay's doing, but he's
yeah. I
been
have,
doing
yeah,
live. That's what I mean. He's got like Shaquille O'Neal and Method Man and like all these people on his live, and it's pretty sweet, man. I like how this is actually it's weird because it's separating people, but it's also bringing us together,
yeah. Exactly.
just
Yeah,
in a
exactly,
different way, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So I don't want to take up too much of your time, and I got another interview coming up after this. I'm going to be talking to a friend of mine, Brian Bell, about he's a real estate agent. We're going to be talking about
Nice.
the impact that COVID-19 is going to have on the real estate agent, real estate market.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah. So yeah. So but yeah, thanks for this interview, man. Like it was dope hearing about the early days of King of the Dot, and definitely well, I'll get the links off you, and I'll put them in the description
Yeah, yeah, absolutely,
for
man. I can
all the
definitely
information.
I'll send you some of those recovery links that you can put up there. That'd be sweet for sure.
Dope, dope. So
And
yeah, man.
yeah, thank you, man. This has been awesome. It's been a minute since I've seen you, but it was good to talk to you again, brother.
Oh, for sure, for sure. All right, man. Stay safe and yeah, man.
All right, man.
All right, peace.